Hi, good morning, everybody. My name is Sanjeev Ganatra, or Gantara, however you guys would like it. Here on behalf of Mediprint. Mediprint has a lot of exciting things that have taken place over the last 15 months, and really in welcoming all of you guys to follow along and see the progress. Mediprint is a clinical and regulatory stage eye care company based just down the street here in San Diego, developing a proprietary ocular drug delivery program and platform. What we heard earlier today was a repeated message around the use of drops, bottles. How can we improve from that? And Mediprint has a platform technology to help move in that direction. Over the last few months, there have been a lot of updates that have taken place from the company. First and foremost, this is a globally patented, scalable digital printing technology for advanced ocular drug delivery via the contact lens. If we think about what the current market looks like, where we have patients early on using drops, bottles for the treatment of various eye conditions, and then as things progress, moving to a laser or surgical model, we think that there's a space in between where a patient can have a benefit but also have a duration of treatment. In the last 15 months, phase 2A and 2B clinical proof of concept trials have been completed, so dose ranging has been completed for the company, and those studies have informed the company in terms of an additional program to help further expand into a new therapeutic area. So we'll be moving forward with both glaucoma programs as well as a 510(k) program targeting comfort enhancement. We'll talk a little bit more about that as well. As I mentioned, this is globally patented, 28 plus patents to date, and the additional are continuing to pend. When we look at all the categories where drug delivery can take place, we look at the pipeline of the options that are available under the IP portfolio. There's $11 billion of total addressable market that Mediprint can help to support. So for those who are unfamiliar with what is the process here, what is it that's actually taking place? So if you can imagine, the inkjet printers, right, and the cartridges that were there, if you can remove the color from those inkjet printers and instead replace that with drug, basically what's happening is that drug is being printed onto a contact lens. Let's see if this works here. There we go. So not necessarily just one, but multiple drugs have the capacity to be able to print onto a contact lens. And then the question comes with that, where on the lens, and will that cause any visual issues? The printing is taken place on the edges of the lens to avoid the optical zone. And the company has now in place a GMP facility to both print, cure, and process contact lenses. We are taking contact lenses that are already approved, and then obviously drug assets that are already approved, and being able to merge those into one space here from a printing process and a platform technology. So when we take a look at the markets that Mediprint will be able to move into, there are two main key markets. The first one on the left-hand side you see is comfort. And that is a more recent shift in the strategy for Mediprint. We realized out of the phase 2B data that a number of patients found that the contact lens, when applied, resulted in improved comfort for them. And those were not necessarily patients that prior reported dry eye or discomfort, but at the conclusion of the study reported an improved comfort. And so that allowed Mediprint to say, hey, well, let's pivot and also take a look at this comfort market. And we know that there's about, of the 40 million contact lens wearers, 2.6 million every year exit the contact lens because of discomfort. With the patented technology that Mediprint is able to deliver, we believe that those 2.6 million patients can have an alternative solution and bring them back into the lenses. That alone is about a $500 million market. The pathway forward there is a 510(k). In the middle, we have a therapeutic pathway, continuing to move forward with the glaucoma program. Phase 2A, 2B are done. We have dose ranging completed, and we'll be shifting to a phase 3 here within the next 12 months. On the right-hand side, additional applications: dry eye, myopia, inflammation, dexamethasone, so multiple different types of drugs, both from a solution as well as suspension, as well as those that are, from a steroid standpoint, all have IP around the ability to be able to print onto the lens. And we are looking at moving those forward as well based on partnership discussions. So, as we talked a little bit about earlier, eye drops, patient noncompliance, low bioavailability, side effects. This audience knows it, and we heard earlier about the reasons and other alternatives to take a look at why do eye drops not make sense in today's market. As patients move along, they look at alternative approaches. When we take a look at anterior segment drug delivery, again, surgical, laser, oftentimes those alternative approaches involve high cost, invasive surgeries, and a restricted number of retreatments. All great options, but we think that there's a space in between to allow that patient journey to be improved. When we look at the phase 2B data, on the top in the green and blue was the low dose, and that showed non-inferiority to timolol. When it was increased, the 32 micrograms at the bottom showed non-inferiority to bimatoprost. The question comes up, why bimatoprost? It's a stable molecule for the ability to be able to print on the lens, and it was a great proof of concept to be able to move the program forward. From a safety standpoint, we think about with bimatoprost, hyperemia, what was a positive outcome of this, and similar to what we saw with the nanodropper presentation as well, that with a lower concentration of drug having to be delivered, that there was an improved safety profile. No serious treatment emergent events were observed, no protein deposits were observed, and that's the reason because there's a molecule that's added hyaluronic acid to the lens itself. No external comfort agents were used, and as I mentioned earlier, about 40% improvement in dry eye, as well as discomfort was noted. So that, again, led us to be able to think about this comfort contact lens market. We talked a little bit about it earlier, 40 million contact lens users, approximately 16%, and in this room, some of the clinicians have mentioned it's even much higher than that, exit that market, and roughly about half of those due to discomfort and dry eye symptoms. For those patients, what is it that they use? With their goal of trying to create that sense of comfort on the lens, they're using different materials, they're using aftercare solutions, wetting agents, daily disposable lenses, and then soaking in HA or hyaluronic acid. We find that these are not necessarily comprehensive because patients are still exiting. So we think that with Mediprint's delivery of HA directly on the lens, that we have an alternative solution here. As I mentioned, a 40% improvement, and we also have industry support around this, which is that they believe that this is moving towards a new weekly disposable lens opportunity. With this pivot, we are looking to complete a bridge round to continue to support the development of both the comfort lens, which we believe to be in a 6-month time frame for 510K, and then to continue to facilitate the phase 3 moving forward for the glaucoma program. This shows a balance of the pipeline, and we appreciate everybody participating today and looking forward to conversations coming up. Thank you.